You're live. No, you're live. What's up, everybody? Yes, I'll save all that. Well, there's people there. What is up? Ah, Merlin. Merlin, I got to talk to you offline. Let's say tomorrow. If you don't hear from me by lunchtime, remind me. I got to talk to you tomorrow. Don Terry, Chris Bryan, what is up, everybody? A lot of stuff going on today, and I said, well, you know what? I think we'll do a live. We haven't done that in so long, and so I'm super excited. Steve Roberts, wow, huh? Right on. What's that doing? That let's take that off there. Haha, Paul, my brother, Brad Fitzgerald. How you doing, man? Don Terry, I miss these. Yeah, I do too. That's why I said tonight. I'm like, let's just all get together. Um, I wish there was a way we could all, get together, but and interact. But we have the comments. I'll do my best to keep up with them. Got 26 people already on. Right on. Paul Taylor, evening. So, Jim English, good evening. Uh, it's funny. Has anyone ever heard the old saying that expectation is the thief of joy? Think about that for a second. Expectation is the thief of joy. I that holds true for me if I let things go unchecked. I went to Atisco Lake 2 Fridays ago with my buddy Paul, just Paul, and it's not the first time I'd ever fished Atisco, but it had been the first in a long time, and the first time really set up to go fishing, and we were going to go fishing for muskies. I've been dying to go down there and try and catch a tiger muskie, and lo and behold, I catch a slammer. Um, you know, if we didn't measure it, we didn't have a measuring tape. If that fish wasn't 40 inches, it was so close. So I don't know whether it was or it wasn't, but it was a big one. It was awesome. Um, every single day, multiple times a day in the last 2 weeks, I have thought about that fish. I've watched the video again. I could feel myself setting the hook. Um, when it came up, when it surfaced, and I saw it, and it's really gotten in me, and I've never really been, even though I used to guide uh, fly fishermen for pike in the spring. I've never, let's say, been a diehard Esox guy, pike or muskie. And I've caught muskies before. I've never really, well, I mean, I've caught them. I can remember one time catching them when we were actually muskie fishing. Usually, all the muskies in my life have been by accident. My biggest one ever was over 50 inches um, on my charter boat trolling for salmon in front of the Salmon River this time of year in 90 foot of water. Well, it was probably more like late August. Um, that fish was massive, 55 inches long, just massive. We weren't fishing for it. It's cool. It's cool. But we went down there and we were fishing for them, and I caught one, and it was a good one. So I've been thinking about it nonstop. And all of a sudden, things came together last night, and I was going down there again this morning. Paul was going to join me. We were taking my boat. We were in his boat last time, taking my new boat down there. I'm super excited. I got everything built up in my head. I was at Runnings yesterday and spent a fortune on stupid musky lures because they're like $18 a piece. So I got to figure out a better way to do that. I can tell you that right now, because I can't pay that much money for a single lure. And jerk baits. I just paid $20 a piece for jerk baits at Lakeside Outfitters when I got the Mega Bass 110 plus, blah, 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 blah. Last week or 2 weeks ago when I caught that fish, it was on a KVD, a Strike King KVD sexy shad swim bait, white, obviously the sexy shad color with the, in the line and with a white trailer. It's a bass bait. It costs $5 and this thing woofed it. Anyway, I did all the stuff. I got all the stuff. I was rigging rods last night because I didn't really have a real heavy stick, because some of these things I bought were the small version, but they were still 6 and 7 inches long. And I drank the Kool-Aid. I want to try it. Okay. I've thought about it and thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. Everything comes together. I meet Paul this morning. We get out there and I just wasn't right. I put so much thought and expectation into going right back out and getting another one, getting a bigger one. Did I let it get out a little. It spun me a little bit. Things bothered me today. Learning the new trolling motor with the remote on the necklace thing there, that had me frustrated. The fact that we didn't catch a fish right off the bat this morning had me frustrated. It compounded on me a little bit. Paul and I had a great day, and we did catch quite a few fish, all largemouth. Nothing wrong with that. Paul caught a slammer. You saw the picture I posted on Facebook. Caught a beautiful fish. We got to hang out. It's so beautiful on Atisco Lake. You look up and down, especially to the south, down through the valley. It's gorgeous. I just was off today, and I'm positive that I built it up in my head bigger than I needed to, or should have, or kept it in check a little better. Some of it's excitement, but it's that expectation, And so I didn't. Okay, there's a point to my story. Hold on. The reason we're here tonight is because by the time we got off the water today, I just was a little frazzled. I got mad at myself a couple times, and I had a reel that didn't. I say the reel didn't want to work right. I wasn't casting it right. It was all bait casters today, and one of my bait casters was giving me a problem, and that bothered me. And I broke off a spinner bait on a bass today, and I crack, and I come up, and as soon as I set the hook on him, it breaks the line. I wasn't using the right setup. I know I was using light braid to heavy fluorocarbon leader, but that reel worked and the other one wasn't. So I switched it because I had it, and it cost me my favorite spinnerbait and a fish. It's not 30 seconds later, and Paul and I hear a splash we see the fish jump 20 feet away from us, and you can hear the blades of the spinnerbait clanking together that were still in his mouth, because that's the fish that I just had on. And we both looked at each other like, did you just hear that? It sounded like bells jingling together. By the time I got off the lake, I was a little frazzled. And I forgot my camera bag this morning on my dock because I left early and had to go pull the boat because of the storm last night. You get kind of out there all of a sudden, and you got multiple things going on, and I guess I just didn't handle it super well. And I said to Paul, I go, I'm not even filming today. I mean, we have GoPro footage that I have to go through, but like doing doing a phone film that I do every day. I'm just like, I don't have it in me, you know. Um, let's just get in the truck and go. And it wasn't a bad day. It was a great day. Um, and even my wife said to me when I talked to her out there during the day, she goes, I get it. You just get a little wound up, relax. You have no place to be. You know, everything's good. There's not a care in the world. You're down there with your buddy and and just enjoy yourself. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And I did, but like I say, I just got myself a little. So by the time I got home, we had dinner, and I'm like, I have a solution for this. Let's go live. Here we are. That whole story was how we ended up here. Now I'm going to go back and read comments for a second, and we'll catch up, and then we'll start again. So that's why we're live tonight. Thanks for joining me. We got 40 people on right now. I love it. I love it. I love talking to everybody. So let's go back and see who's doing what. Who's doing what? Jim English. I said that last. Chris Bryan. Do you ask your friends if the new boat makes your fish look fat? I went over to Corey's Allfab today because the boys over there made me. All right, so the new boat has a 60-degree. Here's the gunnel, and here's the 60-degree angle. Go like this. In order to mount anything on the gunnel, I suppose you could drill through it, but I'm not going to because it has a track system. You have to have some sort of a bracket. Well, the brackets are like the cost of a child. I don't know. The brackets are like they're made out of pure gold, and in order to get them, you must give this arm and part of, and I went down to Corey's Allfab right here in County Route 37 in Central Square, New York. You can call them for all your fabrication needs. Well, you really can because they're great. Right down the road, Corey Jr. comes to all the stuff that we do at the pier. He's helped Chuck and I out. Great people, but they can fabricate anything. I went down there and I said, I need 6 plates, and I gave them the dimensions and the angle. They called me up today. This was yesterday. They called me up today and they said, they're all done. I don't want to tell you how much I paid for. Well, I paid $50 for them, and most places were $50 a piece. They're a little bit more involved, and I'm going to drill the holes and all that, but they bent the aluminum. So now I can, once I drill it and get the right connector, I can go in and make, I can go and mount my rod holders and put stuff on there. I told that story because, wait.
Chris Bryan, or somebody said, does your boat make your fish look fat or something like that?
Yep, I don't remember where I was going. That's all right. No, Chris, but that's funny. Bill Gilbert, howdy from Florida. Is this new hurricane going to be a problem for you guys down there, Bill? Weekend on the East End. Good evening from Pennsylvania. Don Birdie, I was just texting Don Birdie. Greetings from Carlton Island. Terry, Rita, Don, 2 and well, water therapy. They're up walleye fishing right now on the St. Lawrence River. And they haven't been out there long, and they've already got 2. Merlin Johnson was at the Salmon River Monday. It was a great time. I saw lots of hookups, netted a couple for others, and got a nice male of my own. Oh, right on, buddy. I see there's more fish in there than I thought. I think I'm going to have to sneak up there one day in the morning and go mess around for a little while. I want to go gawk at the new Trestle pool and marvel at how it doesn't look like the Trestle pool anymore, which would be awesome. I mean, listen, I don't know. Nobody likes change. I can't tell you how many countless numbers of fish used to pull right in pull right down into the trestle, back the back of your drift boat right up to the center pylon, put the plug rods out, crack, crack, crack. I mean, everybody that's ever plug fished has done that. Everybody's pulled into there. Everybody that I know of has caught fish in that pool. I mean, imagine how many tens of thousands of memories of people's biggest fish ever in their life happened in that spot on that river, on every spot in that river. But the Trestle pool, the Sportsman's, the Schoolhouse, the big ones that everybody knows because everybody goes there and fishes them. Those places are special and people remember them by name. You know, where'd you catch your big fish? The Trestle pool. Now it's not going to look like the Trestle pool anymore. Maybe it'll be better. I'm sure it'll be better. Tim Graver, wow, live. Not sure if I seen you out in the lake around 4 this evening. It was not me, sir. My boat was no, it wasn't me. I wasn't on this lake. Eric Wisniewski, hello, buddy. I missed this. I do too, man. I do too. Danny Diamond, my buddy. Brian Hammond, what's up, brother? Yeah, Eric, I know we all have. I only ever say stuff on here with everybody that I think everybody will relate to. And I think that's one of them. I think putting too much pressure on yourself or too much pressure on the situation or unreal expectations. When they talk about the thief of joy, what that really means in a nutshell is this up here is conspiring against us. That is the ego. Not like, oh, you're egotistical. No, the ego in Freudian terms. The ego is that nonstop voice inside that tries to keep you under its thumb, like it's the one in charge. And sometimes you can really hear the struggle in there between the sides, and you're like, Jesus Christ, it's my head, right? But it's not always quite that easy. And obviously, you don't always quite, even if you recognize it, you don't always quite have the tools in place to diffuse yourself. You know, I went on a 7 curse word tirade when the baitcaster got a wind knot in it, you know, or got a backlash in it, and I'm like, I was mad at the reel, and I'm like, my fault. I didn't have my thumb on it, you know, or have it on there correctly, or have my settings done, you know, right, or whatever, or try to cast into the wind when you know you're not supposed to. We've all been there. Chris Bryan, most of us have been there. I have watched more than one steelhead skip across the top of the water with my hardware hanging off of their face. I said the same thing to Courtney when I told that story. She goes, "Oh my God, really?" And I go, "Yeah." I go, "I've had steelhead do that too." Nice big shiny hot shot right in their upper lip. Oh, Just Paul says, "Thank you for taking my honey out fishing today, and nice haircut." and then Paul signed it, Lisa. Code, that's his wife's name, but she's probably not the one watching. Thank you, Lisa. Bob Rourke, Mama said there'd be days like this. Yes. Rich H, I would love to tell you Rich H's question is pancake still hot? I would love to tell you yes. I would love to. I have caught some fish there this past week, but not like I was. And that 2.5 weeks ago to now, something has flipped. There's a switch that has moved. Don Terry alluded to it the other day that these perch are starting to really school up. Maybe that starts to ring the dinner bell. Amount of daylight is changing rapidly, and so maybe they're picking up on those seasonal cues, even though for us it's still summer. Because they're not there like they were. I was going out in other people's boats and eyeballing off the one corner buoy marker on the pancake for almost a month. And most days, 9 out of 10 days out there with other people, with friends of mine on their boats, you were jigging. You were jigging as many bites as you could want in the given time that you were out there, you know, and that was the pancake was after I left Dakin, and Dakin was I drove around Dakin the other day for over an hour. Never took a rod, never stopped and made a cast. I saw some fish in some key spots, but there wasn't very many of them. And when I say I drove over, like I'll do grids. If anyone's ever seen me out there graphing, and watch me going, what is this guy doing? I'm looking. I'm really looking. And both of those spots that have provided my content for the whole summer have changed dramatically. And that's fascinating to me because this is the first time in my career that I've stayed on pieces of structure for that long. You know, the old saying, don't leave fish to find fish, is true. That doesn't mean that if you leave, you will never find more, especially on an idle lake. There's always more to find. But I rode those horses until something else came up, or I think the day that I switched from Dakin to Pancake was just a matter of it was rough one morning and rougher than I felt like getting beat up with. And I stopped there and checked Pancake because it's closer for me, not by much, but it is closer. And lo and behold, they were there too in the same spots. And I'm like, okay, great. Boom, boom, boom. And then all of a sudden I fished that for a month. So long story short, Rich H, you can go out there tomorrow morning and you can go look on your spots on Pancake and you could very well kill them. I have not for the last week. And I've looked multiple times. Merlin, he was on the Salmon River before the crowds. Now that this weekend was so hot, it'll be flooded with people. Yeah, and weekends are no bueno. No bueno. Don Birdie, Rita's on fire. Terry has your thumb screws. I know. I saw the thing, but I'll talk to Terry. I got to figure out what I'm using. Eric, are you going to? You said copy that, Bob. I'm ready for Willie. Are you going to SPAC to see Wolf Brothers and Willie and family? Yuppers. Oh, honey, did you hear that?
No,
Eric's gonna go see Bob Weir and Wolf Brothers and Willie Nelson and friends. Yeah, it's next Friday. Is it next Friday, Eric? I think we should. Yeah.
I heard we were going.
Yeah. I'll have to get tickets. Yes, next Friday, the 15th. Bob, you're going too? Family road trip to go see Willie and friends. I've never seen Willie Nelson. Right? I've never seen him. Don Terry. Let's see what Don says. My glasses are all fogged up. Bob and I ride together. Okay, right on. Don Terry. Fish were scattered today out there. Only caught 2 and lost 1. Caught those in a different area. Never found a big group today. No kidding. Yeah. Paul said floating around on a night of lake at 10 o'clock at night is beautiful. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah. A bunch of drunk teenagers out there hooting and hollering, looking at the stars. Yeah. Bunch of yacht.
And being scared by the satellite, Starlink.
Yeah. So, okay. By show of hands, does anybody out there know what the Starlink satellite is? Who is it? Who's
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, SpaceX. We're sitting out. Courtney and I were in our boat, and Paul and Lisa were in their boat,
Big difference.
and we'd went out for a couples fishing derby that evening, which my wife won with a giant sheep's head. And the fishing slowed down. Well, it never really started. And so we all just sat next to each other in the boats. It was not a breath of wind out there. We just floated around out between like Wantry and Long Island. We were right there out of the main channels because 3 Mile was loaded that day. Anyway, it's dark. We're sitting there watching the stars and hanging out and shooting the breeze and listening to music. And we're all looking up at the stars. And all of a sudden, they start going across like this in a row. And there must have been 25 or 30 lights. Bing, 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 bing. Yeah. I was like, what the hell? And I'm thinking, it's finally happened. I'm finally going to get to see them, you know? And I every morning in the dark on the night of lake, I look to see if there's any weird lights out there that I need to be aware of. And all of a sudden I'm sitting there looking and they're all zipping across the sky. I'm like, what the hell is that? And my wife goes, it's what did you say it was?
It's the Starlink satellite.
Starlink satellite. Okay. Like this is a known thing. Never heard of that before in my life. And we saw it. And like 25 or 30 lights went zooming across the sky. And I'm like, oh great, here comes the invasion. Super. At least I did, at least I died on a night of lake, you know, but that was incredible. I've never seen anything like that. Chris Bryan, my buddy was in Canada a few days ago and saw it also, said it freaked him out. Yeah. Yes. We just happened to look up and there was kind of spotty clouds and all of a sudden these things went zipping by and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. All that means it's no limits. Take as many as you want until the aliens blow us all up. Michael Wise. Oh, look. Okay. Now, I can't verify Michael is telling the truth. I met Michael yesterday, and he seemed like a very upstanding man. And he had bought a hoodie and a hat, and I delivered it to him. I met him over at Circle K, and we were shooting the breeze for a few minutes, and he had a few questions. He even had an old Night of Lake hotspots map. I used to sell those things at the River Rat at my old tackle shop. Anyway, so his comment here, Michael Wise says, Matt, I tried the tips you gave me and I limited out in 2 hours. How about that? Michael, the group of guys and girls, I don't want to exclude any of the lady anglers we have out there. The group of people that we have here around the Awakening Angler and what we do are really incredible. Not only incredible human beings, incredible fishermen, outdoorsmen. I don't think there's anything I couldn't ask our group at large where somebody couldn't knowledgeably answer it. So, welcome, buddy. Welcome to the group. And you'll be amazed how quickly you'll make friends with the people in these comments and abroad. So thank you for supporting me and welcome. That's awesome. Jim English. Elon bringing internet to risk areas in third world countries, except the autocorrect took it from Elon to Leon. So then Jim comments again, Leon equals, and then he tried to again spell Elon and it autocorrected to Elin, Elin. And then gotta love spell correct was Jim's final, I've given up. I've given up. Smartphones are not smart by any stretch of the imagination. Holy shit, that's funny. Leon equals Elin. And Leon is getting larger. If anybody besides my wife can guess what movie that's from, I will give you an Awakening Angler hat right now. You just heard it. The line is, and Leon is getting larger. Oh. Steve Roberts, when can we get you back on the local show? Whenever you'd like, Steve. I could not have enjoyed those 2 mornings with you and your partner anymore. You guys were great, made me laugh. It was easy and comfortable. Actually, what we should do is we should do the morning show from the new Krenzer Marine Starcraft. That's what we should do. We'll do a live out there. See, I'm full of great ideas. Great ideas. Don said that the satellites, he was up there with Terry last year on the St. Lawrence and it went by. Terry and I hit the bottle hard after that. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, it looks like nobody's going to win a hat tonight. I thought one of my older airplane. How would I know Bob would get that?
Paul got it. Paul was first.
Oh, I saw Rumbleseat said it too. Okay, Paul said it. Tim Graver. Okay. I'm like, boy, what have we got a lag here? Yeah, right. Oh, that's funny.
Paul wasn't sure. Question mark?
Question mark? Yes, airplane. And Leon's getting larger.
To quit.
Yeah, right. Oh, the shit's really gonna hit the fan now. Oh shit. Yeah. I could, yeah. God damn it, that's funny. He needed a hat today too. He had to borrow my other one. He's like, I got a fat head and it's mostly bald. He goes, you got a hat I can borrow? Well, I said to him, I go, yeah, here's my other one. I go, but you're going to have to adjust the band. I go, I got a big fat head. He puts it on his head. It was the same size. He goes, yeah, me too. I'm like, holy shit. Mine's all the way out to the last. There's only one tit holding my hats on. This thing is massive. My not my fault. Nothing I can do about it. And don't call me Shirley. Oh, can you imagine? Like, it's like, you ever see those where they show the movie on like the side of a building or like a big sheet or something like that? We should do a showing of airplane like that outdoors when it's nice out. God, that would be hilarious. Oh my Lord. Well, Paul, you and your fast fingers. Oh, and everybody congratulate Paul. He had a big largemouth there. You guys saw the picture. That was 4.6. And I'm going to tell you, when that fish came up to the surface the first time, they got a large mouth. They've got a head on them and a mouth like that. He looked like he was 10 pounds. It's amazing how big their head is, and it makes you think that they're really, really bigger than they are. Roy A. Hey, Matt, I know you said you sold your old outboard. I did not sell it yet. I am still trying to sell it. Did you keep your old boat? I'm not going to keep it per se, but I can't sell it. I'm gonna sell everything off it. The outboard, the full trolling plate, there's seats and stuff that I took out of the inside. My seat was hardly used.
The boat rejected it.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever told anybody that story, but unless you fished with me, you wouldn't know. But for the last year, probably a little over a year, I've been sitting on a cooler, the cooler in my boat as a driver's seat, because after I spent countless hours and hours and hours and thousands of dollars putting all new floors in the boat, marine grade plywood, sanded, wrapped on the edges with fiberglass. What is that? Is that a radio I hear outside on the river? Somebody in the boat? Anyway, it pulled out. I went to hit the gas one day. I went, whoa, and boom, right ass over tea kettle backwards. I looked like a turtle. I was on my back, feet up in the air, seat post pulled right out of the floor. So that seat's hardly used. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I don't know. What are you gonna do? All right, next question. Oh, you're killing me. I know. Oh, look at Don Birdie just offered up his barn for boat storage. It'll be Terry's boat, my boat.
No, to watch the movie off of as a projector, I think. I think that's what he means.
Oh, damn it. I thought you were offering me indoor heated storage, Don. Come on, Jesus. Although, yeah, the barn would be cool to do that too. Are you a little tipsy tonight? No, I'm just happy to see you, Bob. Jeez, you always got to think something's wrong. There's nothing wrong. I'm just naturally happy. Don't call me Shirley. Don't call me Shirley. I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow yet, Bob. All right, there you are. I don't even know what's happening tomorrow. My boat's on the trailer in my driveway. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't. I really want a muskie. I'm not gonna lie. I really want a muskie.
I think we should drive across the country.
Like Minnesota?
Yeah.
Did you guys just hear that? My wife just said she thinks we should drive across the country somewhere. And I said Minnesota, and she goes, yeah. And Donnie Obert, who is one of the pros with JT Rods, who just filmed, well, he's filmed many of them, but I just saw the one he filmed with Nick Linder and the guys from the Northland crew. And that's Nick Linder, like, of the Linders. He messaged me the other day and asked me when the hell we were going to get out there and film with him. He's on Rainy Lake.
Now I know you're smoking something. Are you serious?
Yeah, I am serious. I just said, we're working on it. And you and I talked about trying to do something, but, that was as far as it went. So he just said that to me 2 days ago because I'd asked him about something else. But he's on Rainy Lake in Minnesota. And he's every day. You want it, Donnie Obert. You can go follow him. He's a full-time guide out there. He's a JT guy. Every day I look at his feeds and he's holding up walleyes 30, 31, 32, northerns that are 20 plus pounds, smallmouth they catch by accident that are 6. I'm like, I have never been out there. I've never been into Wisconsin or Minnesota to fish. I've driven through both those states, but I've never fished. Crazy. So like that could really happen, especially now that my wife just said yes.
You know I'm watching you, right?
All right, moving on.
You can go, I'll stay here.
No,
I'll go on my own vacation. I'll be in Hawaii while you're in Minnesota.
too. Oh, Randy, thank you. Nice to see you in the new boat. Oh. Winetta Lake. So the guys I went fishing with a couple weeks ago, Ross and George. Um, George was from. He has a place on Chautauqua Lake. Has anybody here ever fished Chautauqua? I never have. I've always heard about the walleyes out there, and I've also heard about the muskies out there. Merlin, you ever fish Chautauqua? Not that you. It's still west of you. I know that, but. And you're saying Winetta Lake? Where the hell is that, buddy? I could look it up. You're saying what's hidden good right now? The muskies? Really? That makes me interested. 54 inches caught 2 Sundays ago. Oh my God. Lake Como. I've heard that one before too. Right back at you, buddy. It was a great day today. Michelle, Courtney will get a hold of you. I need pizza. So we got to make this happen sooner than later. Winetta is just south of Cuca. Okay, that's not too far. Chris Bryan ran into Jake from Cornell a couple weekends ago at the Sunnies tournament, and he's doing well. Said Douglas is treating him well. Yeah, he's a great guy. Douglas is lucky to have him, whatever they have him doing, and I'm sure he'll do anything. But yeah, that's great. I do miss him. I haven't seen anybody doing creel census on the lake this year. And I do miss those conversations with him out on the lake. They were enjoyable and informative, and everybody loved him. And it was really great to hear. Maybe I'll give his uncle a call, who runs the Cornell out there at Shackleton Point, and see if we can't do a live Q&A coming up here pretty soon. So did you read what Chris Bryan just said? Brian Hammond, Chautauqua has great quality fish. Used to fish the new Eastern Walleye Circuit there. Good place to fish if you get blown off Erie. Oh, no kidding, Brian. Well, good. So if I go out there, I got you to point me in the right direction. Chris, Lake Como is in Cortland. I have fished it. Surprisingly big muskie for a tiny lake. Really? Lake Como, the one alongside 81 by Cortland? That one? Are you lecturing me, Matt? I will if you don't do it, I tell you. All right. They've been harassing cornaments. Thank God they're out of control. Man, they are. They are. They are. They are. They are. I tell you, Wantry is pitch black every morning when those birds are all around it, and that flock keeps getting bigger. I mean, I see them every day. For years, we didn't have hardly any of them out here, and now they're back in full force. And I'll tell you, you talk to some of the smallmouth guys, and they're struggling and they're wondering where our fish are. And I know they spread out every year in the summer. I get it. But I know a lot of pretty good sticks out there, and they're not crushing them. Let me tell you, and a couple of them have openly said to me, it's one thing to fish for spread out fish in the summer, but it's another thing what this year's been now. You can't not look at the fact that we have more cormorants than I've seen in a very long time on this lake this year. And what looks to be less fishing for the smallmouth, which are for whatever reason, the cormorant doesn't discriminate, but those smallmouth must be vulnerable to them somehow because they decimated them up along the Galouse and Eastern Shore years ago, the Eastern Shore of Lake Ontario, which is all the more impressive what that place is kicking out now, considering that 25 years ago, the charter captains up there and stuff were screaming bloody murder that something had to be done about these birds because they were eating the fish to decimation. So all right. What else we got? We're at 45 minutes. So I still don't know where I'm going tomorrow. You guys aren't helping me really.
You got like 4 suggestions.
I know, but that would be me. That would mean going someplace I've never been before, blind, by myself. Be interesting though. We'll see. Don't forget my hat. New phone. Who dis?
What hat? There was a question mark there. Now you got a buddy to go with.
Let's go. Let's go where? Almost sounds made up. I think Chris is making that up right now to send us on a wild goose chase. Lake Como. And there's muskies in there. God, now you got my interest peaked. Hmm. Chris just said there's a little pond behind my house, and for the first time ever, I've seen cormorants coming in and sniping what little fish there are in there. Como is small and west of 81, not a great launch. All right. Well. All right. Well, that'll do it for tonight. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I'll figure out tomorrow, and I'll see you guys there somewhere tomorrow morning. Somewhere over the rainbow.
So she
Hi, Lise.
she sent me a Snapchat or a snapshot of you.
All right, I'm out of here. Night, buddy. Night, everybody. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Keep your tip up. Love you guys.